What's up guys, Houndish here, and today we're jumping in with a roadmap preview for the final shape and the episode content that we're going to see as part of Echoes. And so Bungie have partially revealed information about upcoming dates which are important for the episode. That includes events launching in the game, but also the rollout of some of the content. Of course, we're also getting an exotic mission in this episode, but otherwise we can also find out quite a bit about the sort of timeline for various bits of content via the database, including additional episode weapons that'll be dropping, new activities that we'll get access to, such as Echo's Battlegrounds, which will be interesting, but we can also see details for the story content timeline in episode 1, additional activity launches like Grandmaster Nightfalls, and a bunch of other items which we're going to break down in the video. So, as always guys, I hope you find this one interesting today, and it may help players plan a little bit when it comes to important dates this season. So, if you do find the video useful, a rating below really helps us out on the channel, but without further delay, let's get into it. And so front and center, Bungie have provided a little bit of information about the key dates in the first couple of months of this episode. So, of course, Echoes launched this week on June 11th, and also this week on the 14th we'll see the return of Trials of Osiris for the first time in the season. But they've additionally said that on the week of July 2nd, we'll get the first Iron Banner for the season, then on August 6th, Solstice of Heroes will begin for 2024. So those are a handful of important dates, but additionally, Bungie have said Echoes will feature 3 different acts. And so Act 2 will launch on July 16th, so in around about a month from now. Then Act 3 will be going live on August 27th. And these will be key points where new quest chains will unfold alongside the addition of new activities with new rewards. But something else to keep in mind regarding the content rollout is that the seasonal artifact and season passes will grow as each episode develops. So the first 100 ranks of the season pass is already available, but when new acts launch, an additional 50 ranks will become available. And so by the end of the season, there'll be a total of 200 unlocks available on the season pass. And right now, we've got the initial artifact for the final shape in Act 1, but with the launch of Act 2, Bungie have said an additional 5 artifact perks will be added, and the same can be said for Act 3. And so ultimately, over the next couple of months, the artifact will actually end up having 7 rows of perks instead of just 5. And so those are useful things to know, but in terms of the story component of each of these acts, or at least the quest part, it would appear that Act 1's story quest will conclude on June 25th. And that's enough time for 3 different parts to have dropped from Rising Chorus. But on that same week, Grandmaster Nightfalls will also become available, so those 2 items will be on June 25th once again. But something else we can keep in mind related to the episode is that we are indeed getting a new exotic mission. This will be available for all Season Pass owners. We don't know exactly when the exotic mission will drop, but there's a possibility that it will actually be during Act 3 after August 27th. As up until that point, the seasonal challenges don't indicate that anything like an exotic mission may have dropped, but when we look at some of the challenges that will drop in Act 3, there are a whole bunch of classified ones. So it's possible that the exotic mission will actually be a bit later on during the episode. But we'll also see the rollout of different weapons during each of the acts as well. So on Bungie's website, right now it lists the Act 1 seasonal weapons, which is the Ill Omen Sword, the Lost Signal Grenade Launcher, Sightline Survey Hand Cannon, Veiled Threat Auto Rifle, and then the Faithkeeper Rocket Launcher and the Time-Worn Wayfarer Scout Rifle. But there are at least 4 more weapons that actually are part of that set, and that includes the Aberrant Action. That's a new rocket pistol frame sidearm, actually looks like a pretty juicy weapon. There's also the Corrasion, which is an arc pulse rifle, the Speleologist, which is a solar machine gun, and then the Chronophage, which is a void trace rifle. Those 4 weapons aren't actually listed as being part of Act 1, so it's probably safe to assume for the moment that those 4 weapons will become available during the other 2 acts of the episode. And then in terms of activities that we're going to get in the episode, of course in Act 1 we can see that Breach Executable is the featured game mode, but Bungie's website indicates that the main kind of game mode for each of the acts will change. So on July 16th we're getting Act 2, and looking at seasonal challenges, it's obvious that a new activity will drop then in the form of Echo's Battlegrounds. Obviously, we can't say a whole lot about what Echo's Battlegrounds will be. Presumably, they will be similar to Battlegrounds that we've seen in the past. But there's a challenge called Spelunker to complete each battleground in Act 2, and that includes Battleground Delve, Conduit, and Core. So more than likely, Battlegrounds are going to be the Act 2 activity. Then looking at Act 3 challenges, again, there isn't really a reference to another new activity, but there are a lot of classified triumphs, so as an absolute guess, I would say the exotic mission will drop in Act 3, and it could actually serve as the primary activity for Act 3 as well, much in the same way as at the moment we have the Enigma Protocol activity. That doesn't appear to be tied specifically to an act, so it'll likely remain featured throughout. Plus when it comes to Act 3, the artwork that Bungie provide for that that is actually the mysterious character that we see in some of the cinematics for the episode. So possibly the juicier bits of the episode story will actually be in Act 3, or at least it's safe to say that the culmination of the story will happen at that point. But obviously, after Act 3 launches on August 27th, we will have around about 6 weeks remaining of the episode, which will take us up roughly to October 8th, which is a possible release date for Episode 2. Although, as Bungie said, each of the acts are around 6 weeks long, so we'll simply have to wait and see. The only thing we don't have a specific date for is the release date for the master version of Salvation's Edge. Although based on previous raid launches, I think it's safe to assume that it will probably be during Act 1, perhaps around the start of July. And so for the moment, those are the notable dates that we have. So again, for a quick rundown, on June 25th we'll get Grandmaster Nightfalls, July 2nd will be the first Iron Banner of the episode, with July 16th seeing the launch of Act 2, August 6th being the launch of Solstice of Heroes, and then August 27th being the launch of Act 3. So there we go guys, I hope the video has been useful today. Let us know any bits of content that you're most looking forward to. Of course, we are likely to get other surprises along the way. It's even possible there could be more to the final shape in the next couple of weeks. But for the moment, that is as much as we know. So if you've enjoyed the video, a rating really helps us out. Plus, be sure to get subscribed to the channel and I will keep you posted with more Destiny content. But otherwise, thanks a lot for watching and I hope you guys have an awesome day.
I hear it still.
The witness is dead. From that victory, something new emerged. At first, we didn't know what to call them, but echoes seemed apt. You won't be alone. We're sending our best.
I was once the Vax's greatest opponent. I should remind them.
I never thought I'd see him shaken up like that. He's always so strong.
Do not forget what you're dealing with. Uploaded, judged, and eliminated.
I will be ready.